I have a question for you. What is the name of Doc Brown's dog in Back to the Future? Hi, I'm Mark Ellison from 5 Daily Trivia Questions. 5 questions, 5 answers, and maybe you'll learn something amazing along the way. The number 5. 5 Daily Trivia Questions. Oh, and the answer? Doc Brown's dog's name is Einstein. 5 Daily Trivia Questions.
It is the world's most secretive election. When a pope dies, ancient traditions begin. A silver hammer, a destroyed ring, over 100 cardinals locked away from the world, choosing the next leader of 1 billion faithful. White smoke. The path to a new pope, from Calaroga Shark Media, wherever you get your podcasts.
Calaroga Shark Media.
From New Orleans, where the only thing more inflated than these Super Bowl ticket prices is Jason Kelce after 3 bowls of jambalaya, this is Ballot.
That's right, and we're on Radio Row at the Super Bowl. For some reason, let's hit this. Trump's really taking his media criticism to new heights. See what I did there? He's demanding CBS get shut down because 60 Minutes edited an interview, which is basically saying, how dare you take out the parts where she's drinking water and saying, This man watched an edited TV interview and decided it was, and these are his words, perhaps the biggest scandal in history. Bigger than Watergate. Bigger than that time I ordered a 12-piece McNugget and only got 11. He's also pushing this wild theory that the government is secretly paying media outlets for positive coverage. According to Trump, Politico got $8 million from USAID. But it turns out that money was just from government agencies subscribing to Politico Pro, which is like getting mad that the DMV has a New York Times subscription. And you know what's really something? His press secretary, Caroline Leavitt, is now threatening to cancel all these subscriptions. That's right, the White House's solution to fake news is to make sure government employees have less access to information. Next, they'll fight inflation by breaking all the thermometers. The best part? Trump called this election interference because they edited an interview for Time. By that logic, every time I fast forward through a commercial, I'm committing a federal crime. Lock me up. I skipped through 3 pharmaceutical ads just this morning. Trump wants to add a $100 million ballroom to the White House because nothing says fiscal responsibility like turning the executive mansion into Studio 54. According to Trump, he's been trying to pitch this idea since Obama was in office. He's like that friend who keeps suggesting everyone should go skydiving and nobody ever responds to the group text. He says he offered this to Biden too, but shockingly, installing a Mar-a-Lago-style dance floor wasn't high on the administration's to-do list. Now, Trump says he'll pay for it himself. $100 million for what would be the biggest White House renovation since Truman basically gutted the place back in 1948. That renovation was because the building was literally falling apart, not because it needed more disco balls. His reasoning? Well, apparently he's tired of seeing tents go up when Chinese diplomats visit. I mean, who hasn't looked at a formal diplomatic meeting and thought, you know what this needs? More glitter. And just to put this in perspective, he's announcing this grand ballroom plan right as his efficiency team is cutting federal budgets left and right. It's sort of like telling your roommates you're installing a hot tub right after explaining why everyone needs to start buying generic toilet paper. Trump claims he's good at building party rooms, pointing to his ballroom at Mar-a-Lago as proof. Which I guess makes sense if your idea of presidential decor is Las Vegas casino meets Versailles. Vice President Vance is citing medieval Catholic philosophy to justify immigration policy, which is like using a Thomas Aquinas quote to explain why you won't let your neighbor borrow your leaf blower. The irony here is that Vance cherry-picked this Ordo Amoris concept, but left out the part where Aquinas literally says, hey, sometimes you actually need to help the stranger in extreme need before your own father. That's not exactly supporting the whole America First agenda there. He's telling people to just Google Ordo Amoris like it's a mic drop moment. But if you actually read Augustine's work, he says all men are to be loved equally. That's about as far from Trump administration immigration policy as New Orleans is from medieval Rome. What's really something is Vance posting this on X. Nothing says I respect the deep theological traditions of the Catholic Church quite like explaining them in 280 characters between posts about Hunter Biden's laptop. And you've got to love a Yale law grad telling people to just Google complex medieval Catholic theology. That's like telling someone to understand constitutional law by watching Law and Order reruns. The famous grocery pump, where you fill up your grocery cart with premium unleaded milk. The White House had quite a moment when Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt created a new concept in American retail. When asked about prices coming down under Trump's policies, she accidentally combined two talking points and referred to prices at the grocery pump. That's right. She merged grocery stores and gas pumps into one magnificent verbal slip. Leavitt just invented my favorite new phrase. I'm going to start using that. Hey, honey, can you stop by the grocery pump and pick up some gas-powered bread? Now, I know we've all felt like we're getting robbed at both places lately, but this is the first time someone's officially combined them. When asked for a timeline on when these prices might actually come down, whether at the real gas pump or this mythical grocery pump, Leavitt couldn't give one. Though in her defense, maybe she was just busy inventing more new places to spend money, like the laundromat casino or the drive-through library. Portions of today's program were made with the help of the grocery pump, AI, and an expense account at Pat O'Brien's.
It is the world's most secretive election. When a pope dies, ancient traditions begin. A silver hammer, a destroyed ring, over 100 cardinals locked away from the world, choosing the next leader of 1 billion faithful. White smoke. The path to a new pope, from Caloroga Shark Media, wherever you get your podcasts.